there's been, I think, five members of your team ended up as coaches. I may be a little off on that number, but how important is it to see Dawn as the first Black female coach of an Olympic U.S. team? And how tough is that pipeline to get into? Is that a job that you want to get if you're coaching?
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. I think, was the question directed to me, Carla?
If you would ask that question one more time and direct the question to one of our three guests, Teresa.
Carla, I'll go with you. There's 5 players off of the 96 team who have coached at some point. How nice is it to see Dawn as the first Black female coach of an Olympic team for the U.S. women? And how tough do you think that pipeline is? You guys have played so long. Did you ever want to go into coaching and try to follow and be one of in that path?
Teresa, thank you for the question. I actually coached with Dawn on 2 different occasions. I was assistant for her at Temple University as well as South Carolina, where I had the great pleasure of helping her build a culture of winning. Dawn Staley is amazing. I don't say that because she's my friend. I say that because I've seen what she's capable of doing with the basketball in her hand. I tease her all the time. I tell her whatever she touches is golden. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm expecting when they go to Tokyo. I believe you asked about the pipeline. I think it's great that we have the coaches from our team that are giving back and pouring in and inspiring other young players, and to get them to understand the depth of the commitment it takes. Like what you see in the success that these coaches have had, it just didn't happen by chance. It's because they are champions. They were determined. They are committed to the game and moving the game forward. And I mean, that's pretty much all I can say is that I've been blessed to be around great players that are now great coaches. And so, yes, I wasn't coaching. I think about maybe stepping back in, but I think they're doing a great job. So I'm happy kind of being a spectator. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And our next question will come from Pepper Persley. Pepper, you're up.
Hey everyone, I wanted to start by just thanking you all for everything you've done to improve the game of women's basketball and to further it along. As a 10-year-old girl who plays basketball and as a journalist, it means so much, everything that you've done. 2 questions for you right now. Firstly, just what does it mean to see how much women's basketball has grown since 1996?
All right, let's start with Katy, if you would, please.
Well, I think, I think one of the great things about the evolution of the game is it's a lot faster than even when we played. But as people who came along at a very pivotal time in women's basketball, we love being able to look back and see the legacy that we helped build is still active today, and the blessings that they have in women's basketball now because of the contributions that we made. But it also makes me think very positively about the folks that came before us and laid the groundwork for us to be able to do what we were doing. And it just, we were talking in the locker room with them just before, and Lisa said, it's your guys' turn to carry the torch. And that's, I think it's really important that we keep moving the needle and that we keep pushing the boundaries. And I think this is a really current topic this year with some of the disparities in women's basketball that we've witnessed and been a part of, and glad to see that they're getting the recognition that they deserve.
Katy, thank you. Venus, would you add to that? Would you add to that as well, Venus? Okay, all right. We're going to our next question, and we're going to go to Christy Winters-Scott. Christy? Can't hear.
Good evening, ladies. Christy Winters-Scott with NBC Sports Washington. Just wanted to know, we understand that the journey is the dream, and the dream was to get that medal put over your necks in 1996. But tell us something about the journey to that point that stands out to you. If each of you could give one defining moment through that journey to the medal for us, please.
Hi, Christy. Thank you for that awesome question. I know for me personally, the journey was learning less self and more team. And Tara did an amazing job of pitting us against her because we actually thought she was crazy, but she was a genius because she made us depend on each other. There was never a day there was someone different talking about, I'm out, I can't take this no more. But then you had your teammate that would talk you off a cliff and say, we need you, we can't do this without you. No matter what your part was on the national team, which led to the Olympic team, you were a pivotal piece, you were important. And so for me, the journey was learning to bond with 11 other women. Then Venus came along and understanding that this is a bond that I have for life. Like I never envisioned that. USA Basketball helped me have like 11 other sisters for life. And so for me, the journey is worthwhile because now I get to see one of my sisters now leading our country as a head coach. So every sacrifice, every mile we had to run, every time I thought I wanted to quit, it was all worth it because now look how great the game has evolved. And like Katy said, it's steadily moving forward. And I think a lot of that has to do with we were less self and more we. So that's my experience.
I would say for me personally, I think the answer to your question is that the lesson I learned over many years was to keep trying, to always find a way to get it done. The insatiable work ethic that I was able to be a part of and help demonstrate myself and just know that no matter what came along, you had done the groundwork, you had laid the foundation for success later. And it doesn't always come in the package that you think it's going to come in. And I think that's a lesson for everyone who's playing sports. If you are, or anything in life, if you're able to make some sacrifices and do the work and really embrace the opportunity to be excellent, and you're willing to put in the time and grind, you know, great things can come. I mean, I'm from a small town in Oregon, and you know, I never had thoughts that I could be an Olympian one day. Like really, you know, you dream about it, but you don't really know that it's going to happen for you. And I think it's just a testament to years of perseverance, great coaching, being ready for opportunities, and being able to embrace some failures along the way that helped you get there.
For me, it was me coming in. I was the 12th player to come in, and how they welcomed me to the team. It was a wonderful experience. With, you know, seeing the coaching now, the Olympic team is just amazing. Being on the Olympic team was amazing, and you grow and you develop. I didn't know if I would fit into the group, but they accepted me as coming in, and it was just I was proud to be a part of this, the 1996 team.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And our next question will come from Rafiq. Rafiq, if you would speak up and go with your question, please.
This is Rafiq with Nothing But That Sports Talk. I just wanted to ask you, like, I want you to look back at the game you guys played against Brazil that clinched the gold medal game. How great was it playing that game?
How great was it winning the game? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You want to go ahead? Okay. I think one of the most special things to me about that game is it was kind of a microcosm of the entire year. We were a very successful team. Everybody knows that. You know, and along the way, every game, someone had a moment to shine. It wasn't always just the same people doing the same thing over and over again. We all had our moments. Carla had some really great moments. I felt like I had a couple in there sprinkled. And Venus obviously had some great moments. And I think because everybody got on the floor in that game and everybody contributed, it was something that just, you know, it put a little extra shine on the gold medal, I think, for me. It was just such a special game.
And I mean, I would probably echo everything that Katy said and probably add the fact that were they one of the teams that make how we got that bronze medal in '94? So for us, we never wanted to have that feeling again of losing. And we knew Brazil was definitely an obstacle that we were going to have to overcome if we were going to bring the gold back home. So you asked, how was that? Exhilarating, exhausting, but empowering, because we knew we had put in the work. We were actually at a point where there was probably no fear of anyone, yet we didn't take anyone for granted. We knew we were ready, we knew we were determined, and we knew we had to bring the gold home, and Brazil was a team that had to go down.
All right, we have one more question, and that will come from Takeshi Shibata. Takeshi, go ahead.
Hello, ladies. Thank you for your time. I'm calling from Tokyo, Japan. And so I'd like to ask you about what you remember about the game against Japan. I think you played them in the quarterfinal, and it was you scored more than 100, but we scored more than 90 points. So it was very competitive. It was very fun to watch. So what do you remember?
I think I just remember whenever we played them is the fact that you had to be ready to play any position. You had to switch, and when you switch, you had to be in your stands. And I think the thing that amazed me was they would pass a ball, no one would be there, but as soon as the ball bounced, there were hands there to catch it. I was so in awe of how disciplined they were and how disciplined we were going to have to be if we were going to beat them. Understanding that your position was out the door. If you were a post, you were guard or center. If you wanted to be on the court, you had to play defense. And the country just made every other team in the Olympics be accountable of playing really good defense. And then when you had the ball on offense, you had to run your play to the team. Precision was everything. So, I mean, that's what I remember.
And, you know, for me, it was a special game because I played in Japan for 3 years. And so I knew a couple of the girls. And I thought it was just a little extra special, fun.
Yes.
It was just great. It was great just being a part of it. Playing against Brazil. I had played against them before. It was Japan. Okay. Playing against Japan. I played over there 2 years. And I know how quick they are and they're so small and it's very hard to guard them and stuff. That was my problem. So, but it was worth the while.
All right.
Thank you.